That's it. Basement Discourse fight special. I'm going to fight Brady.
Last time on episode 9 of Basement Discourse, our friend Zach dropped in to tell us a little bit about Star Wars.
Alright, thank you, basement dwellers. I hope you enjoyed that previously on. We're here today. We've got Jace, who's our gamer and streamer guy. We have Justin, who's everything D&D and tabletop.
Ahoy.
And you're unfortunately stuck with me, your anime otaku nerd. But today we're going to throw straight over to Jace because he's got a topic he's absolutely like busting to talk about in like an unreasonable degree. So what do you got for us, man?
That is a woeful exaggeration. I'd also like to point out how horrible our timing was on all of that intro.
Right?
Like, I'm letting the missus know that we're recording. You hit play on the thing, the dog barks.
I'm talking for some reason.
That just makes it way basement discourse, right?
Yeah, that's the way.
That's kind of our thing.
So the one thing I really wanted to talk about, but not that bad, not Brady's level exaggeration bad.
Can you please get on my level a little bit from time to time?
No.
You know why?
That
it's that like weak vegan energy.
Weak vegan energy. That's it. Basement Discourse fight special. I'm going to fight Brady.
We'll go live for that one.
Such a bad idea.
No, that'd be great.
That content though. We're gonna be like the
I know. I think people would pay to watch you get your head punched in.
But it's gonna be a fight with D&D
go?
terms. It'll be D&D terms.
Definitely.
So like both of you will have stats and you'll both have to like roll initiative and be a certain amount of feet apart and then you'll be able to take like imagine an in real life fight.
My rolls
D&D.
have been notoriously woeful. Like the Christmas special and then like the beginning of our D&D thing that I don't know if it's aired yet, but hopefully it has. If it hasn't, that's fine. You guys will see soon. My rolls are just, they don't work in my favor very often.
I rolled 2 1s in that session. So, and one of them was my surprise attack as well.
Yeah, surprise!
Whoa! I'm going to Easter egg the shit out of it. In the pub brawl, where I was the only one trained in fighting, every fighting move I attempted ended with me face down on a fucking bar floor. Because they just kept rolling low.
Yeah, you're a bit of a booze hound, so that kind of works out pretty well.
Jace, what the hell did you want to talk about? I'm done with this topic.
Guys, don't mention how much of a pisshead I am. I just like to drink every day.
Days ending in Y.
All right, so what I wanted to talk about was Microsoft have officially bought Activision Blizzard. So Activision Blizzard is the merger of Activision and Blizzard as companies. So they sort of became one company, but they work somewhat independently. So they're all technically owned by their CEO, Bobby Kotick. I don't know how to pronounce
What are the more common Activision Blizzard names, like the titles? Like
Call of Duty.
Some big ones. Yeah, that's a big
Call
one.
of Duty, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Overwatch. I'm drawing a blank, but
so you're gonna say this is
Tony
a pretty
Hawk.
like
the good Tony
small
Hawks
indie thing that no one really cares about. Like
this is like half the market of gaming, right?
I think if memory serves, Activision also own, I think it's called King Games, who own like Candy Crush and all that sort of shit.
Damn.
So
it sounds like such a small thing because it's like, that game has been around forever.
Those micro purchases mobile games earn way more money than console games do. Like if you took Xbox and PlayStation revenue combined and compared it to mobile games for micro purchase shit like Candy Crush, where it's like $1 to get more energy to do more shit today, it would blow it out of the water to like a disgusting degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
They paid like 57 billion or something for this as well. It was a big number.
I think it was. Give me 1 second. I'll get the actual price.
I'm feeling that number, but I might be wrong.
I think it was.
You usually are.
68.7 billion.
Dollars and cents. Dollars and cents. You know.
Wait, how much?
68.7 billion.
0.3 off. 0.3 off a good number.
But like, 69.
Ah,
nice.
Yes.
We're
an adult podcast, we swear.
I think that last intro was just like farts, so we're on track.
Flawless. That, and every time we play D&D, it's just sex jokes.
Yep. Someone's always naked. It's great.
Yeah. Or I'm going home to rail the missus.
Is she sitting really close right now?
She's on the couch behind me.
Yes!
She's fine.
She needs to watch the Christmas special. If she hasn't, then.
She already has. Everyone has.
Context is key. Everyone's seen it.
Everyone's seen it.
So yeah, thinking about what Activision owns. So Blizzard don't have a whole heap of games, but every game they have is huge. Like, they also own Diablo, like, for reference. So that's huge. Activision also own Crash Bandicoot, Sekiro, King's Quest, Spyro, Prototype, Skylanders, all the like Guitar Hero, DJ Hero, all that sort of shit. What else do they have? And then like there's just tons of other random stuff.
Yeah. Blizzard's main ones are like Overwatch and World of Warcraft, right?
Yeah.
Like really.
Yeah.
Diablo.
Blizzard only have like a handful of games.
I just quickly looked them up. I'm like, wow. Like they have a big name, but
everything is fucking huge.
Yeah.
And just for Brady's sake, Activision also did Interstate 76, which is a game that was made in like 1998. So look that artwork up, fuckwit.
So, how dare you?
So to give context, Brady was really mad because we kept referencing old games that he couldn't find artwork for. So I saw that and I had to jump on it.
I'm the bastard who has to edit this show. So every time these assholes reference something, I'm the one who makes the weird spinning, moving art into it. So if you hate it, that's my fault. I don't care.
Yeah, blame Brady.
Deal with that.
If you like it, don't say anything.
Yeah,
every
do
time
not give him any credit.
Yeah, don't say anything, but keep subbing, because every time these guys mention something, I have to fucking put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
I'm like tempted to just drop like 20 names just for the sake of it. How was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 in comparison to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, 3, 4, and the remake? Actually, the remake was trash.
Wait. Which remake? The 1 plus 2 were actually fucking awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were.
And I will defend that to the grave.
I'm talking about like that.
The HD? Oh, no, 5. You're talking 5.
5 and the 5.
Yeah, so HD came out before 5 for PC, and I was like, Tony Hawk for PC, like they haven't done that since
American Wasteland
2. No, American Wasteland, yes.
Yeah. But hang on. Quite liked Underground 2. But as a skater, Skate, the game, kicks the shit out of Tony Hawk's games.
Oh, 100%. And like, as a rollerblader, I can totally agree. Like, there were games like Aggressive Inline that was literally Tony Hawk with rollerblades.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then there were games like Rolling and then On a Roll, which is still in development. But
Oh, fuck. I don't know why I said anything. I just realized you took this opportunity to make me.
That's
God
about
damn it,
subtitles right
that was
there.
that was completely unintentional. But those games that I just mentioned are like Skate in a sense.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
are so much more down to earth. And
How-
in all honesty, that is way more fun.
Yeah,
for
dude.
someone
How
actually
satisfying
into
is
that
like
shit.
just getting on Skate and finding a big set and then just throwing a kickflip off and just getting that
Yeah.
real clean, or like just a nice the clean 540 or something off of it. You're just like, oh damn, son.
Just some bullshit that like just barely works.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I remember like I have tons of clips on my Xbox that I just save. I don't know why, because you can't do anything with them.
Yeah, it's so useless.
But I just save them, and it's like, you know, you get that ollie up onto like a high ledge where it's at your max ollie height.
Yeah, and
And
just
it
the
just
wheel
perfectly
just sort of
goes up, and you just barely made it. That is
You know
like,
why it's good? You know why it's good?
Because it's in slow motion.
No. I mean that helps everything. Just ask old mate who did Transformers. No, it's that they filmed it the way you film skate videos or rollerblading videos or BMX videos. Like they did it as if the person is rolling next to you.
Yeah, exactly. Just holding
with a
that
fisheye
cam.
lens.
Yep.
Holding the cam, like that made all the difference to those games compared to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game.
And the satisfying controls, you know, like
don't get me wrong, they're both fantastic fun to play.
Yeah,
but they're in different categories, right? Like,
oh yeah, I think
it's just timing, you know. Like when the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games came out, there's nothing like when the initial first ones came out, they were great. Oh, here we go. Here's the counter.
Thrasher, Skate and Destroy.
Oh yeah. Similar though.
That was similar, same time as Tony Hawk 1, but it had a more like skate feel. Like there was a lot more design around the control of your board.
Yeah.
But it was really fucking hard because of how bad the controller on PlayStation 1 was.
Before its time, probably, you know what I mean? Like they probably
exactly
jumped the gun.
But
like that arcade feeling, just, you know, that really felt good. And then the Tony Hawk's Underground games, what timing, you know, like with the whole, like, you know, bam and Jackass boom. It was perfect. It worked so well for these guys. Like they just threw all the Jackass stars in there.
I agree with you though. Like, you know? As a skate fan who wanted the skate game to be skate themed, I still felt that was it Underground 2 that had the like Hawk versus Bam?
Yeah. That was just
so much fun.
It was so much fun. And then they had the next one was like American Wasteland.
I loved
whole selling point was that there wasn't loading screens between like places.
Yeah.
But and I can feel you guys laughing and stuff.
Dude, we're all in the same fucking boat.
When you would hit like a boundary line, there would be this like weird pause. And then
you go. Yeah.
it was like even we worse. Have no load screens.
It was way worse on PC, right? Because PC, if you did a new gap, if you found a new gap in the game, the very first time you found that gap, it would freeze as you are landing and getting that gap. So you do these big gaps, you land on that next quarter pipe, and it freezes right on the landing. So the first thing you do when you land is eat shit because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know which way you're even facing. Oh my God.
The PC version, as much as I loved it because I loved the game, it was so buggy.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
But it had a better soundtrack than the console versions.
Really?
Because it had Pig Destroyer in the PC version for some reason.
I remember you saying that.
I remember they branched out quite a lot from Underground 1 onwards with the type of music they'd put in, because they realized, skaters are quite a diverse group of humans.
They don't just listen to hip hop.
Yeah.
Well, like it started on punk, really.
They did. Like, I think Billy Joe was like an optional skin in like Tony Hawk's 3, maybe.
Don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah. But like Green Day lead singer was a skin in one of them. But before Underground, I'm pretty sure.
They did a lot of those things.
Yeah. Like they did actually care about their audience, which was a good move.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, what the fuck were we talking about? What was this
Oh,
tangent?
who even cares? Who even cares?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
done.
No, so Activision bought. No, sorry.
No,
Microsoft bought all that
bought
shit.
Activision.
So now they just own
So-
what don't Microsoft own as far as like gaming goes now?
No,
Because there
that's-
couldn't be
that's
many
still-
big-
EA.
That's still quite a lot.
No, they have a
no.
good partnership with EA though, right? Because that is part of the Game Pass thing as well.
No, EA have their own pass as well.
It's in the
EA
Ultimate Pass, so like you get
is
that
it?
with the Game Pass with Xbox and all of that.
Yeah,
so,
but you can get EA Pass through Steam as well. So I think it's
Right.
just they're branching out so people buy. But all the same, this kind of makes Microsoft a bit like Disney at the moment, and you'll relate to this a bit, Brady, because Disney own everything in the media front. They own like Star Wars, they own Marvel, they own your mum's cat, like, you know.
good,
They own
good show.
everything.
Good show up to season 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's sort of what Microsoft have become. And to some degree, Microsoft are honoring things that have already been agreed upon. So there were certain things that there was something that Activision were working on that they made an agreement with Sony to do, like first release will come out on PlayStation, and then it's a delayed release on console and PC. And that is still going to be honored after Microsoft's purchase of them.
Spider-Man? That sounds.
I can't remember what the game was.
That sounds Spider-Man to me, because like that's.
Well,
Spider-Man has been for a very long time tied to.
is that even Activision?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm kind of
Well,
lost.
Sony.
Doesn't matter.
Sony
Anyway.
basically own Spidey.
Yeah, so, but like, I don't know if Activision make the game, but all the same, there's
I'll find
like
it.
anything that's previously set up, Microsoft are willing to honor. However, there is a lot of word of Microsoft just planning to completely ditch everything Sony's way the moment their contracts are up.
Yeah, of course.
So I can't remember what Microsoft bought before that, but whatever they bought last, they honored their contracts until the contracts ended and then just didn't renew them. So basically, like, think of all the like Call of Duty fans. There's a good chance Call of Duty may not come to PlayStation in future.
True. Yeah. I mean, why would it? They're the direct competition of Microsoft, so
Well, that's the other problem though, is
they own it.
as far as I'm aware, the Call of Duty League actually plays on PlayStation.
Right.
So the entire league is based on a platform that they might not support anymore. And like, what's the player base like? Like, I guess it's something that Microsoft need to weigh up, but this could have a lot of implications for people who play on PlayStation.
Absolutely.
You who owns a... Yeah,
Absolutely.
Sorry, go on.
I'm just going to do the Spider-Man thing real quick before you keep going.
Mhm.
So there's a bunch of like weird stuff, but from 2000 to 2008, every Spider-Man game, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Remember playing one from like 2000 or
11?
thereabouts?
They were all Activision.
I remember
Then
Neversoft made one.
there was a mobile game in 2009 by Marvel Comics. Then there was 3 games from 2010 to 2012, all Activision. Then Gameloft did 2 games for Android and iOS.
Yeah, I was going to say they're mobile.
Yeah. Then Activision did The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was released on several platforms: Android, iOS, Microsoft Windows,
Damn.
3DS, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Wii U, Xbox 360, and Xbox One, all owned
No
by
PC though.
Activision.
Mhm.
Yep. And then the new stuff, 18, 20, and 23, obviously not out yet, and on 5, is Insomniac. But yeah, which is owned by Sony. But yeah, Quite a lot of Activision involvement through the Spider-Man series.
Yeah. I do remember, like, I played one from like the early 2000s on PC that was made by Neversoft. Brilliant game for the time, but I'm pretty sure
where
it'd
you
be
like
dog shit to play now.
put like webs on your fists and punch people and shit, and the background was like a weird yellow hue?
Very possibly. I do remember playing it. I remember that you get to fight Venom at one point, and I remember that they actually had Stan Lee do the intro for the game when it first pans up.
If something takes a Marvel thing, he's like, I'm in.
But yeah, so there's going to be a lot of implications.
That was a sad delay, by the way, for all our geeky audience.
That minute of silence there for our man, our boy.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so there's a lot of implications for people who own PlayStations. Like, I don't think that means that everything that's Activision's going to be Xbox and PC exclusive.
I think they'd be shooting themselves in the foot there, to be honest. Like,
I think so. So I think games like, for example, Overwatch 2, when that comes out sometime this year, and all the future Call of Duties, I would bet that they're probably going to be PlayStation as well.
I reckon they're going to keep all the big titles across the both.
Yeah.
They're just going to be able to boast that cross-platform is going to be easier than ever. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty common now, but it's not 100% of the time. I think that it is almost just going to be a guarantee.
Yeah. And I think one of the things it's going to be a big sort of thing for Microsoft is that they're going to block anything under absolute AAA from Activision's range. So I think you'll get like, for example, if they do a sequel to that Sekiro, right? That was a really popular game, but there's a good chance they probably wouldn't release the sequel on PlayStation because they'd be like, you know what? We're Microsoft. We don't have to drop that on PlayStation.
True. Yeah.
That would be the sort of thing that, like, well, just get an Xbox, or if you've got a PC, get that with Xbox Game Anywhere or whatever it's called.
Game Pass, and then there you go.
Yeah.
I've got to say, it's still good. Game Pass, like, I still swear by that. Hey, like, they're doing good. They're doing real good.
I always see like my friends in Discord that are like, yo, there's something cheap or free on Game Pass. Let's all play it. And I'm like, no. I already spend like $50 on my Adobe subscription. I spend, like, I've got Netflix, Plex. I'm paying for so many subscriptions. I don't want to pay for more.
Yeah. We do like the family share thing for like all of that stuff. So all I have to do is pay for Game Pass, basically, which is so good because so many good titles come out, like the new Rainbow-Six. Has anyone played that?
I have not. I do play a lot of Rainbow-Six Siege though.
Yeah.
So I'm I like the idea that Siege heroes are in Extraction.
Yep. Yeah, well, I've never got to play it. I've missed the boat on Rainbow-Six Siege to the point where, like,
dude, it's still popular.
Yeah. I think this could be almost as popular, but I don't know. It feels good. Like, it feels like it's very fleshed out, and like the cutscene at the start is awesome. Anyone who wants to see that, just look it up on, like, we'll put the link
link in the description, bro.
Yeah, check that out, because
like, subscribe, hit the bell.
The vid is like seriously good. But
you guys are
like,
legit just messing with me.
Oh yeah, we're doing it exactly to fuck with you. So have you guys played World War Z, the game?
No.
Why?
I only recently watched the movie.
You guys play Left 4 Dead? Why the fuck would I
do that to myself?
Left 4 Dead, I fucking loved.
Okay, so imagine mashing like those two games together-ish, and then having the Rainbow-Six sort of thing that they have already happening as well. It's kind of all those things put together. So it was quite fun. Like, I played with a friend last night. We only had a group of 2. We didn't want another player with us because we were like, no, because he's just going to fuck it up. Like, well, let's just do it. First game we went in and we just went on guns blazing. Like, we just ran in like it was Left 4 Dead. Don't do that. That's not great. Definitely play it as if you're playing Rainbow Six Siege. Maybe I think at least like it's like real recon based sort of stealthy style. So like check shit out, actually do the game the way it should be. Like keep an eye out for things.
I should probably explain a bit about how Siege works, because Siege is a weird game, because when you play multiplayer, it's basically people defend and attack, and it's a building or like a premises. And so the defenders are basically just holding up in a building, and they're just waiting for you to try and get in, so then they can shoot the shit out of you.
Right.
So the recon's really sort of done by the attacker side mostly. It's sort of hard to explain, but it's not like the old Rainbow Six games where it was like a SWAT team.
I would say that this is you're the attacker side only.
Yeah.
And that you're now sieging the zombies, because that's basically what this is. It's an infection, and you fight against these zombie forces basically. And you're just given a bunch of random objectives to do at each time. So you can choose a different guy from the loadout who will sort of relate to what you need to do inside of the mission. So if you know it's going to be a bit loud, you can grab the guy with a shotgun and no worries. But if you're going to do stealth, then you go with the snipey dude or whatever. But like, I haven't played enough of it to really explain it 100%, but it seems like it has a lot of promise, and I think it could be fun with like a group of friends. If you went in there with people you don't know, I think it could be really shit. So if you
that sounds like Left 4 Dead to me.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You play Left 4 Dead with randos,
and they just leave
you. Or they trigger the witch and then run off,
and you're just like, cool, thanks. Like if you get downed inside of the mission, you actually get like you get a chance to get revived, of course. But if you don't get revived, then you kind of get consumed by this weird fluff stuff. I don't know what the hell it is exactly, but you just basically get consumed, and your character is there, and that's it. So you lose him, but you have one chance to go back and get him. So as one of your objectives out of the 3 objectives you get in the mission, the next time, if you go in there and do it again, one of the mission objectives is to retrieve your guy. So you pick him up, and you're like, you've got to get him out of this weird looking crap. It's bizarre. It's really well done. So yeah, I think I would suggest both of you guys should probably try and get that or try it out.
Yeah, we'll have to look and see if there's like crossplay, because maybe that could be a bit of fun.
That'd be cool. Speaking of like characters in that regard.
Wow, that was a stretch.
What a segue there. Speaking of things that are related to other things.
You know what? Assholes, I tried. I tried really hard.
Did you?
I could have done it worse. I could have been like, speaking of that time Microsoft bought Activision, Justin. But instead I went, oh, there's the character thing. Speaking of fucking characters, Justin, there's been a really big upturn in the D&D world. Yeah.
Well, a lot of it's speculation still, but they are talking.
But nonetheless.
Yeah, there is some pretty heavy talk about 2024 being the year for 5.5 edition of Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah, but not even that, like the alignment thing. That's what I want to nail in on.
Yeah, so the alignment...
You've got the dates and you know way more, but from like a internet person perspective, we've seen the shit memed out of alignments, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've seen like chaotic neutral, we've seen, good, we've seen
I'm chaotic neutral.
You're definitely way different to that, but we'll go we'll play with that.
I want to know about your thoughts on my alignment.
Are
we talking about character in the D&D or?
Yeah,
I don't know. I want to know Brady's thoughts. Come on.
Your thought, my thoughts on you as a human being.
I don't know. Where did you think my points differ from me being chaotic neutral?
I mean, chaotic neutral does say you in a lot of ways.
But I think it would be chaotic neutral.
And I hate this because you put me on the spot and now I have to be fucking nice, and I don't want to be. But I put you closer to chaotic good. Only because...
yeah, true.
Yeah, see?
I see that.
The fucking DM gets it.
Yeah.
Because chaotic bad... I can't remember the exact...
Chaotic evil
even.
Chaotic evil...
Chaotic naughty.
Doesn't quite get you. But chaotic neutral still isn't you. Because you are, despite your attempts to portray otherwise... You are closer to chaotic good.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
You got 2 verse 3.
So, yeah.
Chaotic bit of all right.
So what we're talking about is alignments, and that is in 5th edition. There's 9 of them. I almost said 7. There's 9 of them, ranging from your chaos to all the way through the neutrals. And
for the record, I will put them on the screen, and I hate you for it.
There's the 9 right there.
No, they're over there now.
Oh,
they're there.
Whoa.
Get them.
Whoa. Catch them all. It's fucking Pokemon up here. Fuck. Get to work on that one, Brady. Thank you. So yeah, there's 9 of those.
By the end of the night.
Yeah, definitely. We need to get this done. We need this out stat. So there's 9 of those, and they are talking about nerfing those or completely wiping them out entirely for the 5.5 edition in 2024. So that is what that discussion is about. That's it's pretty wild, it's pretty out there, and there's people that are all for it and people that are totally against it. But honestly,
teacher,
not too sure.
How does that actually affect anything? So
it depends on how the DM plays the game, because there's no set rules as to how
is it the DM or the players? So do you reckon
both, really?
I was gonna say, do you reckon your players pick an alignment and they strongly are like, this is how I fucking play? Or do you reckon your players go, no, fuck alignments, I'm going to pick a background, and that's how I play?
Yeah, look, that's the discussion that's happening, and people are like, well, how do you say that someone's not going to stuff that up? You can't just live off of this, rule, like you're fucking Batman, you never kill anyone, you know what I mean? You can make mistakes and shit.
Have you seen
what are you talking about? Brady's like Batman. He never kills anyone because he's too busy rolling fucking ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's doesn't mean he doesn't want to.
Why did you mention me? And I was like, oh no, I'm the DC guy. And then you went with that.
Doesn't mean he doesn't want to. It just means he can't.
No, I get you. I feel that. But also, have you seen the recent fucking DC films? Batman kills a lot. They're like, oh, he's Batman. He didn't kill that guy when he slammed their fucking head against the wall.
We talking the Batman, Pat?
No, I haven't watched that shit. No, but
I was gonna say it's not out.
Even
the BVS
era
Batman.
He's smashing someone's head into a crate, and they're like, "It's Batman. Don't worry, he lived." And you're like, "Wait, did he though? That was a big hit."
But also, speaking about that, in the comics, there is a whole a deviation story where they talk about Batman killing people.
Yeah, but that's a deviation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're getting sidetracked on a sidetrack here. But
that's perfectly us.
That's exactly us. So
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it though because I've actually read.
Let's go.
I've read the things,
and
we'll come back. We'll come back to the D&D alignments things. I promise.
Sure.
So that Batman thing. So what a lot of people don't realize, and in fairness, it's not their fault because it wasn't advertised to them well. The Affleck version of Batman is the Dark Knight, which the fucking stupid movies portrayed as different. The Dark Knight.
Don't you dare talk about my Lord and Savior Christopher Nolan like that.
The Dark Knight comics portrayed a Batman in his later years who had done his fucking best and was tired of not seeing success.
Right, and he snaps and he's like, fuck this.
Yeah, he'd hit a point, right? So,
right.
The Dark Knight comic is a specific storyline where he literally is in that armor in the BVS movie.
Yeah, where he's in like the full fucking metal armor.
So
and shit.
they didn't do it particularly well in the movie because in the comic book line, Superman got called upon by the American government to be like, hey, this guy's probably stepping beyond the line. Can we get you to help? Whereas in the BVS movie, they didn't do that. It was just...
It was kind of just flashes of his behavior like that.
Because that Superman wasn't established, but that Batman was. They did a weird thing. I love Ben Affleck's Dark Knight from the Dark Knight comics. But combining it with Henry Cavill's recent, newly emerging Superman is a weird idea. Because the Dark Knight version of Batman is supposed to clash with a extremely well-established Superman.
Yeah.
That's where they giantly stuffed up. So they were like, let's have a super established Batman clashing with a super new Superman instead of the original Dark Knight comics where a super established both of them coming to a cross point where they didn't agree on. And the government stepped in and was like, Soups, can you help?
Yeah, instead they just spoke about Martha.
Yeah.
That fucking scene, even at the fucking movies, I was like, I can't believe that is gonna be the turning point. That was a fucking joke.
I'm a huge
I haven't watched it.
fan.
I just got told not to.
Oh my! Okay, so I'm gonna spoil this, and it totally deserves to be spoiled.
Yeah.
They find out that their mothers had the same name.
Yeah, and they were both like, mother.
They're like in the middle of a fight.
Not in the middle. Like, Batman had essentially won.
Yeah.
He was a killing strike away from... hey guys, this is the ad break. Thank you for watching Basement Discourse. Enjoy our sponsor's video.
You've played Car Mechanic Simulator, Shower with Your Dad Simulator. Now get ready for the ultimate in simulation. Simulator Simulator. A simulator where you simulate playing a simulator. Now you can experience normal everyday things in the fourth person. Get your copy today.
Welcome back, Basement Dwellers. I threw these guys for a ride. We talked about a lot that will be available on our behind the scenes, yet to be announced. Continuing along, Justin.
Didn't see.
We were fucking talking about alignments.
Yeah, that's true. About 20 minutes ago, we started talking about alignments, and then we got on this real hard sidetrack.
It was a really, really long pee break.
It was.
To bring this back
let's just don't worry about D&D. Yeah. Oh, okay. We're going to talk about it? Okay, cool.
No, yeah, we are. So,
yeah, no, we sure are.
When it comes to alignment, right? Like, so let's say that Brady chose like lawful good as his alignment.
Yeah.
How does that affect your gameplay any more than just being like, well, my character's a bit of a goody two shoes and he's going to be in the right block?
That's exactly right.
Before you start that, wait. Just before you, just
Batman,
before Justin. I'm not going to go the D-Sarah. I actually had a question about that.
Yeah.
You pick an alignment, you create a character. Are you allowed to grow in like a positive or negative
and change your alignment?
Yeah, is that why they've made this decision?
It hasn't. I think that's exactly why, because like people were sticking true to it, and they're like, no, you can never change. People never change, and it's like, well, that's not true. It's very obviously not true as you grow as a person. So
level 1 to level 2. Go from fucking lawful good to chaotic fucked.
Chaotic naughty.
Chaotic naughty. Oh man. So, but people were living too true to those rules. So like lawful good, they were like, no, I'm never going to do that. I'm only going to do this. And it's like, no, like, it's just like a bit of a guide. Like you don't have to stick to it. Like with everything you do, it's just sort of to help with role play, I think was the idea behind it all. And that, sorry, am I boring you? Oh, okay, cool. We'll just move on. No, I'm kidding.
What?
Brady looked like he just yawned.
Oh yeah, but fuck Brady. No one gives a shit about him anyway.
Yeah. So. Whatever. No, that's cool. No.
His internet probably broke. Who knows?
Insert replay of Brady's yawn now. Thanks, Brady. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks for editing that one.
Edit that one. Every time he pisses off, we'll just do something else. Hey, what about that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2?
No, he's already showed artwork for that.
Damn.
I'll go through my good old game library.
Skyrim.
For the record, Justin, you can do this shit, but in episode 7, when you were like, show my character now, all I did was make the word nope come out of your hands.
All you did was this, you just like, ooh. You're like,
no,
there we go.
Worse than that.
Done.
You were like, nope. And the word no came out. You were like, show my character. And I was like, no.
Wow. That's rough. Yeah, so I think they're going to try and abolish all of those sort of ideals when the 5.5 comes out, which is why they're bringing out the Monsters of the Multiverse soon, which is a combination of some new stuff, but I think what they're going to do is revamp a whole lot of old stuff, like 30 playable characters they're boasting are in it, but they don't say they're 30 new playable characters. So I think a lot of the old playable stuff is going to come back in without alignments, and they're just going to try and just fade it out as they go along. I think they're also trying to do that to be a little bit more like less, a bit more woke, I suppose, is probably the term. So be like a bit more inclusive of everyone and everything, so that people aren't always bad or good, and they're not always boys and girls anymore. It's just whatever you want the world to be, which is perfectly fine, I think. Yeah, we're sort of in that stage of the world as a whole. So I think, and it doesn't matter really. Like if those rules piss you off, then don't use those new rules that come out.
Well, like that's exactly it. Like if you have an issue with, non-binary characters or something like that, then just don't have them in your fucking campaign.
And if you're at a table where other people are trying to use that and you are the one with the issue, then maybe you're at the wrong table. That's the thing. Yeah, that's, you know what I mean? Like you find the group of friends that you have as a whole, as a group of friends that work together. You're not going to be in a group that are like totally indifferent to all your beliefs and things. So there's totally
except Brady. He's
that dude just doesn't fit in though. Oh, it's just too easy, right? Like you're always going to find the group of friends that you all relate to, so it's not really going to be much of a problem anyway. So if you hate the new rules, then stick with 5th edition. If you like the new stuff, then 5.5 is going to be like awesome for you guys. So I'm just going to wait and see. I don't know if they're just going to rehash a whole lot of old crap and just take out things and add new stuff and be like, yeah, this is new. And it's really not. But
like we'll see. At the end of the day with D&D, especially the way we've been playing it with our campaign that you guys have totally already watched.
Definitely.
I don't know if it's out yet.
We've already referenced the bar scene and shit. It actually has to be.
I did mention in the previously on, but this, guys, we're double digits. This is episode 10.
Son.
Oh shit.
We've done 10 of these things? That's
I'm out. I'm done.
That's like 9 too many, man. We've given up way too many hours of our life for this.
No, but
it's worth it. I wasn't doing much anyway.
What are you gonna do? Be painting minis?
Yeah.
That's fun. But like going back to the whole like 5.5 and whatnot, the way we play, a lot of everything we just fucking ham on the fly. Like the only stuff we follow as far as rules is like what we can do with like spells and abilities and skills and shit.
Your actual restraints within the mechanics of the game.
We follow the mechanics.
Like we use
everything else is just for flavor. Like it's just there to help people role play who don't understand role play and to guide them in the right direction. Like if you're lawful good, these are sort of the things you should sort of stick with your ideals for, but whatever. Yeah.
But I feel like the alignment choices and all of that, I just this will help you in the beginning. sort of stuff. Not really like as the story progresses.
It helps you build
and
NPCs
people will see
and stuff
as our campaign unfolds, they'll see what happens to our characters as they go. But like, I don't feel like it's a hard and fast rule. Like, oh, I picked lawful good, therefore I'm always a goody two shoes for 50 sessions. No, you're gonna change and grow as a character. That's gonna inform your beginning point, and then what happens from there.
Like, it kind of reminds me of like in video games where you have like the really clear-cut choices. Like, I know you've been playing a little bit of Mass Effect, Justin. I don't know how far you are.
Yeah.
But it's very clear in that your top options are good, your bottom options are bad, and in between is sort of a neutral.
Yeah.
And it's like, once you realize that, you can play a very hard and fast, I'm all good or I'm all bad.
Yeah.
And like, while that might make a unique playthrough, it doesn't really create engaging gameplay, and being stuck on one or the other is sort of weird. And even, to be honest, like when I play it with my rules, where I play through and I'm like, I'm just going to respond and act the way I would as a character, I find that I'm like, this guy just punched a baby. Yeah. And I'm like, no, fuck this guy. And then it's like, oh, that's a bad response. I'm like, telling a guy to get fucked because he punched a baby? Like,
I've done a couple already in Mass Effect 1 where like I've said like the other thing and he's like got super aggressive. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Okay, whoops, my bad. Like,
and how many choice-based games have you guys played? Just out of curiosity,
about 685,000.
Actually had a good, substantial impact on the gameplay going forward.
Oh, like probably like 2 then. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
almost
very
none.
close to 0. Yeah.
The decisions in the end, like they just don't end up mattering.
Fable, Elder Scrolls, Infamous. Infamous is a big one. Obviously Mass Effect, which I've only just started.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk to you about it till I get a bit further.
Yeah.
But like all of those, like they're just.
It's like there's a pre-written ending, and there's just a slight variation
some
of those.
Stuff changes.
And everything in between will be
slightly
different, but
I like some stuff though, like Ghost of Tsushima. We spoke about in a previous episode that the environment starts to change.
Yeah, but I still think that's
Infamous.
Very minor in the grand scheme.
Infamous, the way the people treat you and the color of your powers start to change.
Yeah.
Well, so there's stuff like that with so Mass Effect, as you get further on, there's a thing with scarring that I won't go into too much. But if you act like a wanker, like Renegade, your scars get worse. And so that sort of goes on that Fable thing, like how Fable,
Fable.
grew horns and
grow
stuff.
horns versus
but none of it drastically affects stuff. So all the big things that affect Mass Effect have no effect on whether you are good or bad. It's more about the relationships you build and how you approach missions and preparation and stuff like that. It's like your choices of alignment. I don't think I've ever played a game where your choice of alignment has ever ended with anything more granular than like maybe 6 or 7 different ending types.
Yeah. Which I think is why D&D is so appealing, because it could be literally anything, but also alignment just doesn't seem to matter that much. So anyone out there talking about it and being worried that they're going to take it out and whatever, then I wouldn't be too stressed.
I think we could almost take it right back to the start of this, where I claimed to be chaotic neutral and you guys disagreed. Like, right there. That's like, I'm thinking that, that's probably my personality. And then you guys are like, oh, no, that's not quite. Because this shit is flexible.
Exactly.
Like, you as a person are not just defined by Blah.
Yeah, but your inside version of yourself versus the outside perception of what you are is always going to be different.
True.
Yeah, it's just not enough tattoos on the outside. I guess there's not enough on the inside either.
Internal tattoos.
We'll work on that.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Well, that's all I had to say about that for now. We'll see when the Monsters of Multiverse come out, what comes of it. So
okay, cool. So
we'll talk about that more then.
Yeah, for sure. I'm keen. So the only other thing I wanted to mention from the anime realm is I read a Korean manga, which is, as far as I understand, is actually pronounced Manhwa. I could be getting it. Manhwa. Manhwa?
Sort of, yeah. I think that
my
it's
Korean.
Sort of like, it's like Hua, I think.
Could just be like mana.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Like I have a rough idea on how some Koreans spelt, like pronounced, but
yeah,
I'm not great.
Korean is like the flavor of the month after fucking, what was it?
Squid Game.
Squid Games, yeah, Squid Games.
Train to Busan.
Yeah, there's a few things. There's I'm pretty impressed. To be honest, like, so solo leveling is a isekai in disguise. So instead of isekai where you die and get reincarnated into another world, or you enter a room and get brought to another world, the other world does get brought to them, but it's very obvious it's not our normal world.
Okay.
So a bunch of portals appear in the normal human world, and a bunch of humans get awakened. So they grow powers beyond the normal realm.
Oh, great. Talking about woke culture again.
Yeah, pretty much. And then those people get ranked E to A, and then S, because that's how gaming rankings work. You got E to A, then S. And then above that, in this particular manhwa, you have national level. But essentially, so a bunch of portals appear across the world. You enter them, you fight in a dungeon, which is a very gaming themed situation.
Yeah, that is literally the plot of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. The artwork down here.
No day.
Yeah. Take down the dungeon and join a guild, fight the dungeon in the rank that you're assigned, and blah blah blah. But our main character gets the lowest rank of E, and then he enters a guild with a bunch of people, and he's died a bunch of times, or like come close to dying. Sorry, I should say. He's had like legs removed and need to be saved by healers and all sorts of shit. And then we enter chapter 1. He enters this dungeon with this guild that are all way higher power than him. All hell breaks loose, and he starts figuring out the puzzles of the dungeon. And no one else has realized what he realizes. And they all start dying and blah, blah, blah. And then he almost dies, and the dungeon gives him a choice. And he starts entering like a gaming system in the real world.
Okay.
So he wakes up in hospital, and an alert appears where no one else can see it that says like road to power, and it's like a bunch of push-ups, a bunch of sit-ups, and a certain amount of kilometers run.
Yeah, no, fuck running kilometers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't do it because he's like, what the fuck? I'm crazy, I'm delirious. And it goes at the end of 24 hours, it's like penalty ensured.
Obesity.
Penalty happens, and he gets transported to a fucking desert being attacked by giant centipedes. And he's like, tries to run away. And then, so from then on, he does it, and then he does everything else the, like, system that he dubs tells him to do. And
he's in, like, cheat mode.
Sort of. It turns out
he's just got a tutorial.
Oh, my God.
100%.
You're
But
reading
it
a book
turns
about
out-
a guy who sees tutorials. Yeah.
Sort of, but like in the late story, so it's only about 180 chapters, which sounds like a lot, but if you read
Yeah,
it,
I'm like,
I thought you were about to
It's
say
only-
pages, and I was like, that's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a lot.
No. In terms,
Then you dropped the word
if
chapters, and I'm
only-
like, wait, how
Yeah.
many pages per
so
chapter?
I
One?
just realized I'm talking to two people who haven't read a single manga. But if you ever picked
I
up,
bought this book like a year ago. I still haven't read more than like 12 pages.
I've got like all those
Yeah.
D&D ones. I've only read 3.
so imagine a comic book.
Okay.
I'm
It
picturing
was-
it now. I can
There
almost
was
see
like
Right
300.
there.
There was like 300 odd pages long. I think that's about what 180 chapters works out to be. So it's not as long as you think, right? But at a certain point, they reveal why they gave him this like player style system. And it actually works out really cool. They give a lot of background as to why the Earth got invaded by all these random things. But solo leveling is your typical like isekai, but like they did it well.
Okay.
because they
And
added
the animation-
tutorial and lore.
No. Okay,
And
so
stole Oblivion's story.
okay, so what they did that was extremely different is it's a webcomic, and they use the fact that it's a webcomic
Oh, I
make
think you did
it-
mention
I do
this.
remember
Yeah.
saying this. Yeah. Yeah.
to make it outstandingly beautiful.
Cool.
So they use the fact that you're going to scroll down on a phone to make these elongated scenes of like armies versing armies with glowing effects. Like
That's cool.
it, yeah.
That's
the
some
way
new
they
age
did
stuff
it,
too. Like, we're definitely going to be moving away from books at some stage. Like, I know that manga, I know you've said this, I don't know if we've said this on the show before, or whether we
Yes.
talked about it outside of this, but like manga as a whole is, primarily books, and they are very true to their art, but it's gonna diversify, and it's gonna come along
yeah, for
with
sure.
technology for sure. Like,
but
eventually.
yeah, like it was really cool to see, because I haven't read that many web comics, but to see one that was like, oh no, to actually see the scene, you have to put like your with the fucking screen lock so that you turn it and doesn't get like, so I had to do that, and I saw like this whole army fighting this army.
That's
And
cool.
yes, the main character is OP, but the way he gets there is well explained. It's not just a bunch of bullshit. That if you've never read a isekai like power fantasy situation, start with solo leveling, because I also read it while reading 2 other things that'll come up in further episodes that were more emotional based series, and I was ready for
I think it was
just
in the last episode you spoke
yeah.
about.
I was just like super ready for just like an action based, like, god damn it, I need to turn my brain off and watch something. It does that, but it does it in a way that you don't feel stupid.
Clever.
Brady not feeling stupid.
That must have
This
been
seems
a
like
real
a
good
lie.
Yeah.
Really talented.
No, solo leveling, I think, is worth a read for anyone who enjoyed Dragon Ball but enjoys wanting to watch Dragon Ball where gaming is included but wants to see it on their phone.
So it actually kind of made me think that, like, it sounds a bit like it's a mix between like Konosuba and what's it? It's like, don't try to pick up girls in a dungeon or something. I forget the name because it's like 80 feet long.
But it's also got several different names. So like it's called Sword Orientera, or don't how to pick up girls in a dungeon, or how not to pick
something
up
like
girls
that.
in a dungeon. There's a couple different names for it, and I've heard that it's not as bad as it sounds, but I haven't actually watched it. But
It's worth watching. It's got a few normal anime tropes and stuff,
yeah.
but someone like yourself would probably enjoy it.
But yeah, solo leveling, I liked that they picked up things in a different way, and I think Korean media in general is probably setting a footmark on the world, like not just with obviously Squid Games, which like broke the fucking internet. I think
have you guys watched that, by the way?
Yeah.
I actually haven't. I haven't got around to it.
It's worth watching. Like if you've read or watched any, I'm sure Jace agrees with me on this point, even though we don't agree on a lot.
I know. I'm planning to disagree already.
Yeah, but if you've
disagree.
Yeah, if you've watched or read anything anime, manga, gaming related, the whole idea of a death game is not new.
Yeah.
At all. But Squid Games, for some reason, which was just exactly, a death game, took the world by fucking storm. I still don't quite understand that, but if you've read anything in that genre, you're like, yeah, there's nothing new.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think it's a brilliant show.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
I also had a feeling that it's like, this is like the non-supernatural version of Alice in Borderland. Which I fucking loved as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, for the record, I want to see the next season of Alice in Borderland because I've not
Please
seen
give me that fucking season.
I've not seen a lot. That theme songs are like, Justin, have you watched Alice in Borderland?
Nah, you lost me.
Oh, man. Yeah. Live action isekai. I'm about it. I'm for it. I'm all for random people transported to another world. All about it.
Sounds like never-ending story.
Nah, it's more like they're transported to the same world in a different dimension almost.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But then that dimension that they've ended up in is sort of like Squid Game, where they've got these fucked up games. Yeah. They've got to complete them, and if they don't, they get fucking lasered in the face.
Yeah, man.
I'm so happy like we hadn't spoke about this like ahead of episode. Alice in Borderland, like I watched it, and the problem with like Japanese live actions, the way Japanese acting is done, it's
thanks for coming to our episode.
That's it.
It's at the least it's not what we're used to receiving, but if you watch it and you've never watched anything, you'll be like, this is bad. But it's just how they do storytelling, I guess. But Alice in Borderland is an amazing story. The way they do it is fun. The soundtrack is great. Even the subtitles, I read them and I was like, ooh, you missed a few, but they're pretty good. And nonetheless, it just played out well. I loved all of it. It was really cool. Watch Alice in Borderland. It's available on Netflix if you're in Australia and you're listening to this, which is, from what I can tell, most of our viewers. Watch Alice in Borderland.
They're today's sponsor.
Yeah, Netflix.
Thanks, Netflix.
The day we get Netflix.
The show, the fucking How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, that's on Netflix too.
Squid Games.
Good game, yeah.
Jesus.
Games, yeah.
The Witcher, I mentioned that earlier.
We just shouted out a major corporation without getting paid for it.
Wow. A bunch of schmucks.
Well, at least you've got your thumbnail now. Sponsored by Netflix.
But you're going to have to misspell Netflix so we don't get sued.
Netflix.
Just
Netflix.
All three of us doing this with Netflix across the top.
Just money pouring down, you know.
Read Solo Leveling if you're keen on reading a comic. It's also a fully colourfied one, and it has crazy special effects.
I'd imagine the glowing would look really fucking stupid if it was still black and white.
Black little.
I must point out, right? So for those who don't know, we have sort of like a document where we put rough ideas for topics. So we don't want to discuss things too much in depth beforehand. And so we all just constantly update it with random shit we want to talk about.
it'll be
More
thrown
Brady
under
and
the
I do.
bus.
And all I saw was solo leveling. And I was like, the fuck is this? Like, I thought this was some type of gaming thing that Brady was going to try and reference.
Because
Like,
Brady doesn't have friends, so just...
yeah, I thought like Brady bought an MMO and just played it solo or some shit. I'm like, the fuck is this?
Oh, it's always just too easy, Brady. I swear to God. Oh, man.
Yeah, like if you don't want to put Netflix in the thumbnail, just pictures of us pooing all over you will do.
Yeah, that's been this whole episode. I'm sorry.
I know.
It's just been, everything's just been too easy to shit on you about. I don't know why.
I honestly am not sorry in the slightest. It's been great.
I don't feel a lot of it. Look,
I'm usually a little bit more kind.
Thank you, basement dwellers. Please check us out on Twitter. Join our Discord. Follow us on Instagram. We also have a Facebook. Please subscribe to us, like us, comment, share us on YouTube, because that is our biggest, mainest thing. And I said it in the most fucked up way I could, just to annoy Jason. I saw his face twitches as I did it. And then we also have audio-only versions, both available on Apple and Spotify. So check us out on those. Guys, you got anything else to add apart from our miniature episodes where we explain anime, gaming, and D&D? What else you got?
You forgot what D&D was in general. I would like to point out that I'm so sorry for the audio listeners to this episode, because there are so many visual references that I have done and that Justin did as well, just to infuriate Brady.
Yeah.
So I'd like to apologize to you, but not to Brady.
I agree.
I love you all.
I also agree with that. Yeah. I'm not apologizing for that part at all. Recommendations for people to check out, I would say Rainbowsix just jump on it if you don't have to pay too much money for it. I think people might enjoy it. That's my thing at the moment.
Yeah, sweet.
Oh, and Sea of
Thanks,
Thieves, man. I've been playing the
expert,
shit
for
out of
recommending a fucking first-person shooter game.
I'll recommend
Justin.
D&D any day of the week, but it kind of gets old when he's just saying, hey guys, play D&D.
So, Justin, we
week,
should
kids.
totally play Sea of Thieves, because
Bro, I will be down.
I don't have Sea of Thieves, but I can get it. But Brady can't because he has a PlayStation. Got him.
Oh, so good. Soon he won't have any games left on PlayStation. We'll just own them all.
No, he can play
Microsoft.
Skate.
For now. Microsoft
Basement
buys it.
dwellers, we're always sitting around in the comments, so we wait to see you guys there. Thank you for listening.
Doing nothing but waiting.
Mwah.
See ya.